It's so good though. So fresh.
There's nothing like fresh asparagus in the garden. She's like, okay, we're going for a walk.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ah, much better. Good morning, beautiful people. Something a little bit different, something we haven't done in a very long time. Today we're gonna do a garden tour. Let me step back, the sun's right in my eyes. We're standing in the shade of the trees here, and it's nice, it's very bright. A couple years ago, we did garden tours almost weekly, and we just kind of got out of the swing of it. And it was like, well, you know, we've got a lot of stuff that's kind of changed. Why not do a garden tour?
Yeah.
So, taking a break from building the house for a second while we do this video.
Yep.
So, we're gonna walk down here. We're gonna start in the orchard. It has been an amazing year in the orchard, so we figured we'd share that. All right, we have had so much rain lately. Everything is a muddy, muddy, muddy mess. There's actually standing water over here in the grass.
Yep.
It's quite muddy. You can't even tell that we hayed this. It looks so nice and green and like yard now.
Beautiful.
Along the driveway here, I know people are gonna see them. These are
Osage orange.
Osage orange. They have a million names. Osage orange, hedge apple, bodark, whatever you want to call them, which part of the country you're from. These will eventually be a kind of like a hedge to stop the deer. Not that the deer couldn't just walk around.
Right.
But the problem I've had is these should be this tall by now. The deer love them.
Apparently.
And so they have been grazed down to the ground 3 times now. So they're doing pretty good. The deer haven't hit them real bad. The deer have been finishing off apples and blueberries and things like that. So I guess I'll just have to invite the deer to freezer camp this fall. So okay, so this first little bunch right here, these are all hardy figs. I know this one right here is a Chicago hardy, and every year since we've planted it, we've actually had figs off of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, I need to look real close.
It's a little early still.
It's a little early. It dies back to the ground every year, hence the very dead sticks. So usually these little side shoots in here, that's where the figs will pop out. This is just getting going, so it'll be a little bit. Same with all of these. I want to say, I think it was this one produced figs last year. But right at the end of the year, like September, it started pushing out figs. This one, it'll start cranking out the figs here pretty quick, so we're pretty happy. You guys will see a lot of these walking onions everywhere. I just have been separating walking onions. You take these heads off. These are all basically onion bulbs. Those will become a new plant. They sprout in the air, and then as this gets heavier and heavier, it falls down, and your onion, yeah, that's fine, it can do that. And then your onion has walked away. These were teeny tiny little bulbs, kind of like these ones. Look how many bulbs that is. Just planted those everywhere, and they've all done really good. For the most part, these are the quickest growing green onions we've ever planted, and so in the middle of winter, we'll have like a hard frost, and then a week later these will be popped up, and if we need green onions for dinner or with dinner, we can look around the yard and we can find them.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So you'll see onions everywhere. All right, we're getting into the orchard. Some of these trees have done really, really good. Some of them have not. We've got various kinds of apples. The majority of these trees are all from Stark Bros. They've all done really, really well. They're huge now. This is their 5th year?
Yeah,
fifth year,
yeah.
6th year, something like that.
This fall will be 6 years.
Blueberries, some of the blueberries have done really good. Some of them have not. This row right here, that one's doing great. That one's doing great. That one's doing great. One down there is not so great. The ones in here, they're doing okay. Some of them have accidentally gotten mowed, or we've mowed too close to them and just kind of, they never recovered. Look at all the peaches, lady. These are coming ready too.
And they're on their way.
So the problems we've had, because it's been such a wet, I guess, late spring, early fall, we've had fungus to deal with. You can see that's covered in fungus. It has actually wiped out most of our peaches, almost all of our, I think all of our nectarines actually.
Yeah.
Codling moth, surprisingly, has not been the biggest pain in the butt this year. Codling moths last year wiped out our fruit, but then this year they haven't been a problem.
Yeah.
The fungus has been the problem, I think, because it's been so wet. Like, it's been nonstop rain for 2.5 months.
It has, almost every day. It's been a little obnoxious actually.
One of the other pests we've had to deal with is, I believe it's fire blight. You can see it is wiping out our pear trees. Like with the wetter temperatures, it seems like it's a lot worse. Or wetter temperatures, wetter weather, it seems like it's a lot worse. There's some of these areas that have done really, really good and some that haven't. This is a good year for peaches, not so much for nectarines. Here's a nectarine tree. This was loaded with fruit and all of it has succumbed to the fungus, which is kind of a bummer. No nectarines this year. I think the other tree's the same way. That tree, there might still be a little bit of fruit, but you guys can see how the fungus has really just wiped that tree out too. What are you eating?
Blueberries.
I mean, they're out here.
Mm-hmm.
We need to come pick.
They're really good.
They are really good. I need to quit talking to the camera so much and actually look for blueberries. They disappear quickly, especially when there's help out here.
Yep.
This is an Evercrisp apple with Evercrisp apples on it. I'm super excited. That's my favorite apple. This right here, this is one of my nitrogen fixers. This is a black locust. This thing was grown from seed. It was literally, I pulled over on the side of the road and saw a black locust with, you know, seed pods all over it. Grabbed a handful of seed pods, brought them home. It's kind of a process to get them to sprout, but got them to sprout. Got them planted. One of the other purposes of having nitrogen fixers in our orchard, if you know anything about planting a nitrogen fixer with your normal trees, is supposedly they fix nitrogen into the soil. They take it out of the air and put it into the soil and their roots, making it accessible to all of the microorganisms. And then when a neighboring tree needs, say, nitrogen, there's an exchange that can happen. The normal tree, in this case an apple tree, will put exudates into the ground, sugars, asking for nitrogen. Those soil microbes will then take some of this nitrogen and give it to this tree in exchange for sugar. It's kind of cool, soil biology.
Yeah.
One of the other things too, one of the more obvious things that I've seen is the pests of this tree are the kind of bugs that eat the pests of this tree. So having more nitrogen fixers in the orchard means there's more dangerous bugs, if you will. The bugs that eat the bugs that like our fruit trees. So I'm kind of wondering, the more nitrogen fixers I've added out here, codling moths don't seem like they've been such a problem this year. I don't know if that's related. I'll be curious in the next couple years if it's the same. This is a plum tree I planted 2 years ago and it is just like taking off. It actually did have fruit this year, but it all fell off.
Yeah.
Now this one over here, oh, there's a plum I missed.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, look at that. And it succumbed to the fungus.
Oh, bummer.
That's too bad. Bummer. So this is a Santa Rosa plum. I planted it at the same time as that one. It actually produced fruit this year.
It did.
We had 2 plums off this tree and they were magical.
We cut them into 8 pieces
We
each.
did. We cut them into 8 pieces
Split 'em
and
up.
all of us got a little piece of plum.
Yep.
This peach tree is done. We cleaned it out. We ate peaches off this tree, honestly, until we were like, whoa, tired of peaches. Here's another nectarine tree. It also succumbed to the fungus. There's a couple that are hanging on, but I assume those will get fungused. What's the word I'm looking for?
Not sure.
They will succumb to the fungus.
Yes.
We have another peach tree that it looks like all the fruit's coming ripe. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a race. We're gonna have to come out here and pick. It's starting to get fungusy. They're still rock solid. Ooh, here's a soft one.
Oh, there you go.
Some of these will have worms and some of them don't. You can see where the codling moth tried to lay its egg. That looks good. You want that?
It's good.
A little crunchy still,
That's
but
alright.
that's good.
I actually like my peaches kind of crunchy. It's about ready.
A little more hot weather and they'll be fantastic. I can tell it's gonna be hot today. It is hot and humid out here in the grass.
Yeah, the cicadas are going off already.
Yeah, you can tell it's summer when the cicadas start going off.
Yep.
All right, so these are blackberries. These are thornless blackberries. These always produce really, really well for us. Don't ask me the variety. I would have to
I think it's Nantucket,
Nantucket.
maybe? I could be wrong, but they're cute. They get like giant.
Some of the berries will be like, you know, like 1.5 to 2 inches long.
Yes, they're
huge.
humongous.
And then the raspberries. The raspberries, honestly, I need to get,
Ooh,
I either need to move them, take them out, trellis them, do something with them because they are running out of space.
Yes.
And obviously they are producing berries faster than we can pick. So we need to get out here with a basket and pick some raspberries. They are jamming this year. Now we get into the jungle. So this is an apricot, also grown from seed. This one I assume will probably try to flower next year. I'll probably knock off all of its blooms so it can get a little bit bigger. This is our Texas everbearing fig. It produced one fig last year, first time in like 5 years.
Yeah.
So we count that as a win. There will probably be a lot more figs this year. I noticed this thing doesn't like producing figs until it gets really hot. So like next month in July, when we're consistently in the 90s, it'll probably start producing. All right, I've done all the talking. You want to do some talking?
Sure. We're a little lackluster in our garden this year because we have a big honking project that we're worrying about. And the garden's just been kind of like, well, if we have time, we'll do it. But we have been putting some stuff in. So in this bed, in this jungle, this is sweet potatoes in here, as well as loofahs that are volunteers.
We did not plant the loofahs.
Somebody helps us with the loofahs. She shakes them and they go everywhere. And loofahs are super prolific anyways, so we might or might not rip these out. We'll see. But in here mostly is sweet potatoes in this bed. So these will be here for a while until fall. We don't harvest them until the first frost kills their tops. So our garlic is ready. It's in here. You can't see it very well. We did weed this, but the heat and the constant rain have made the weeds so happy. They're all over the place. But we do have garlic in here and it's ready to pull. We've been waiting for it to stop raining long enough to be able to pull it, but I think we're just gonna have to come out here and do it because the tops are starting to rot.
Mama.
So we might wind up losing it. In that bed back there, we have squash, and then those are actually hazelnut bushes / trees.
I'd call them bushes.
Bushes, so they're not ready yet, but we've got squash back there that's doing its thing, and we're hoping that the squash bugs stay away long enough for us to actually get anything off of them. This bed here is peppers, so we've got spicy peppers on this side and cool peppers on that side. It's just a mix of jalapenos and serranos and banana peppers, bell peppers, that kind of thing. These are all from our neighbor Michaela. She's the reason we have a lot of our garden this year. And then my friend Jess is why we have okra and dill and other things. So this okra is jamming, it's doing its thing. I actually see pods in there that are they'll be ready by this afternoon, actually.
They will. That's the plight of okra.
Yeah.
Check in the morning, not ready. By this afternoon, too big.
Too big, yeah. So we'll have to come pick that one tonight. All right, in this bed we have more garlic, and then we've got tomatillos on the trellises. And I am excited for those. I hope they do well this year. We have had, I think it's like a deficiency of some sort, because the tomatillos that we've planted will grow, and then they will flower and they will set, but the actual, well, maybe they aren't setting fully because the fruit in the husk won't develop. So we just have like husks that don't have any fruit in them. So we'll see. We'll hit them with some fertilizer this year, some like fish poo and stuff, and see if we can get them to really set. And then back there we have volunteer potatoes.
Yeah, those massive bushy things, those are potatoes that we missed.
Yeah.
And I just kind of hilled them and just let them do their thing.
Good to go. And then we also have more peppers back there. So some more spicy and some more sweets. And then these two beds, we have bulbing onions. So we're still waiting for these to do their thing and be ready. But we've got whites and reds. Mostly whites, a few reds.
You need to weed everything.
Yeah, we do.
Like Meg said, waiting for it to not be muddy. I don't think it's gonna happen. We're just gonna have to come out here and play in the mud because it has just been unrelenting.
So in these beds, these are new this year. You guys saw Ben and the boys put these in earlier this spring. I love them, they're beautiful. But we've got some sweet potatoes going on this side. We've got an apple tree, which will probably stay there. We've got a black raspberry, which is doing its thing.
I counted, it's got 8 berries on it.
There you go, nice.
And then we've had,
Not bad for first year.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
and then we have a white strawberry.
Oh yeah, where's the white strawberry? It's right here. It's getting eaten by a sweet potato. I might dig it up and move it. Oh, it's flowering. It's going to... Oh, it's already got strawberries on it.
Nice.
Here, Buggy. Whoa, that's really soft. I kind of squished it a little bit, so taste it. That's a white strawberry.
Ooh,
Are they good?
Then we've got some various pumpkins and winter squash in here, and then cacuzis that are taking over everything. There's other stuff in there, but you can't see it because it's all cacuzis.
Which, that was kind of what I was hoping would happen. Yesterday I was stringing tomatoes and I had to go along and chop all of the cacuzi that is trying to take over the greenhouse as well.
Yeah.
And then this is a bird planted elderberry.
Yeah.
I don't want it there.
No.
It just, they must have, you know, a bird pooped a seed on the greenhouse and it ran right into the drip line and planted itself. You can see, like, it's taking over. So I'm gonna actually rip that thing out. I actually bushwhacked it when we put these beds in. I cut it off at the ground and it made it happy. And so now it's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
So I don't want those there. It's shading out our greenhouse.
It's a little overbearing.
So there's cacuzis everywhere in every stage, kind of like that, but they get a lot bigger. That's the size we would eat. This is the size for the pigs right here.
Yeah, there you go.
So they're actually everywhere. The more you start looking, the more you start finding. But that right there, that's still tender enough, the pigs will eat it. So eventually it gets to where I can come out here with a wheelbarrow and I can fill up a wheelbarrow every day with that much plant material growing. They'll produce, I don't know, 100 pounds of these a day. I think we probably have 20 plants right there.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
But I just get them, toss them to the pigs. It is so muddy in there.
It is so muddy. So this helps to offset our feed costs a little bit.
By a lot.
Yeah.
Actually. Usually if I have like 50 pounds of squash to feed the pigs, then I subtract how much grain I'm feeding them.
Yeah.
I think right now for all the pigs we have, it's like 50 pounds a day.
That's really good.
And so if I have 50 pounds of squash, I might only feed them 10 to 15 pounds. It just depends. It depends on how much I have to feed the pigs. I wish I had a formula that I can, oh, here it is.
Right.
But if I pick a lot of squash, then it's a few less scoops of feed.
Yes.
Which helps in the
out.
long run.
Yes.
So we're actually gonna walk over here. I don't know if we've even talked about this in a year. We planted these a year ago. Was it right after she was born?
I think so, yeah.
Either right after or right before.
No, it was right before.
It was right before, that's right. So Stark Bros sent us a whole bunch of grapes and we hurried up and found a place to plant them.
Yeah.
And we've got them planted. I trellised them, I don't know, a month ago.
Yeah, about that.
Because they were starting to like grow and get really big. Look at these silly things. Like they are loaded. These are all Concords.
Mm-hmm.
And there are grapes everywhere. I don't know if you've ever eaten a Concord grape. They've got a seed. But this grape right here is where you get that classic grape flavor, that purple flavor that everybody, you know, you get a piece of candy and it says grape flavored. That's the flavoring.
Yep.
I think these ones down here are seedless.
Yes. So we've got some, I think Thompson seedless, like green ones, and then red ones as well.
So we have a green and a red seedless variety.
Yeah.
We did actually lose one. I think it was frost. These were the bare roots and those were potted. Mm-hmm. But from what I know of the Concords, they're a very hardy grape anyways. These ones, we'll see. It could be the soil down here. I haven't given this bed a whole lot of love. It needs another topping of wood chips and compost. All it's had was the initial what I put down when we first planted these. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I know those are jamming.
Yeah, they're doing great.
I'm actually gonna have to tighten my trellis because they're pulling the wire down.
Yeah.
So if we pay attention, we could actually still be eating asparagus. They're still sending up shoots. That one's still young enough. Do you want some?
You go ahead and eat it. There's actually another one right there. Thank you.
The purples aren't as good as our greens.
Oh, it's so good though. So fresh.
There's nothing like fresh asparagus in the garden.
That's right, baby.
She knows where the good stuff is. So this is our asparagus bed. Pardon the construction mess behind us. We actually ate the majority of all the asparagus that popped up, and they still were able to get shoots up and opened before we were able to eat them all. So
those are fine.
That's fine. They got to do their thing. I'm gonna pick about 10,000 berries this year. Each berry has about, I don't know, between 3 and 5 seeds in it. Probably by the end of the year I'll have a pound of seed, which is kind of cool. All of those, we had 3 plants. I saved seed one year and then the next year was able to plant 60 plants from seed.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Don't even ask us about this mess.
Oh my goodness. These walking onions are gonna get evicted because I think you planted like 5 in there and they've taken over, and we do not need this many walking onions.
It's walking onion multiplication.
Yeah, and then the bed behind it is actually perpetual chard, and we always let that go to seed so that it can be perpetual. So it's done its thing. There's probably new ones coming up in there, so we'll need to pull those out and weed them. And that's good because it's just like an ever-bearing green that when we want salad or like a cooked green, we just go pick some perpetual chard, and it's very good.
All right, how about this herb bed?
Okay, this is kind of a jungle. So, you know, you go to the nursery and you pick little pots of stuff, and then it turns into this. It's kind of overwhelming, actually. So we've got a plethora of stuff in here. We have got some lemon balm, which actually started over there, and now it's over here. It moved on its own. That's fine. We've got some chocolate mint. We've got some spearmint. We've got chives. We've got some thyme.
Oh, this is a hot oregano.
Okay, there's hot oregano.
This stuff we like. This is hot oregano.
Yeah, that's like that pizza or Italian like tomato sauce flavor.
Like that smells like we're ready to make some pizza sauce.
Yes. And then this is a sweeter oregano, which we don't really like as much, so we'll probably just rip this out.
Try to anyways.
Yeah.
It was one little plant that was in a pot this big, and it is now taking over this corner of the bed.
It did this last year, so it's all over the place. And then we've got some rosemary. A lot of these, we'll probably pick some in dry. The mint, I've actually made some mint syrup. I did that on a video not too long ago, and that's been good because we've been just drinking it with like carbonated water. Just pour a little syrup in carbonated water. This back bed is strawberries over there. Looks like more lemon balm.
I'm telling you, the lemon balm
everywhere.
escaped.
It did. And then some lavender, dill from my friend.
That's a lot of dill.
Which I so appreciate. We've got a hardy kiwi on the trellis. Kind of a hot mess, mostly because they've gotten so big. And we're like, that's fine. You can do what you want. I mean, there's herbs here for the picking when we need them.
Got the hops. Hops is jamming.
Hops is doing great.
I actually have preserved. I make tinctures out of the hops. It's a great pain reliever. So that's why there's not a whole lot of cones right now.
Yeah.
We've been using them.
Yeah. And then if you see this all over the garden, this is comfrey. It's great for, it's a deep miner. So we actually will use it a lot for like a mulch cover. So chop and drop and just lay it on top around whatever plants, and it will compost itself and break down and feed the plants themselves. Really
good garden food, but the number one use I use it for is medicine.
Yeah, that's
You need to look into comfrey if you don't know anything about comfrey.
Yep.
That's all I'll say about that. I haven't had a whole lot of time for garden this year, and it really shows.
Right.
You know, next year will be better.
Well,
I said that last year.
Won't be building that next
We will
year,
not be
so
building a house next year.
Okay.
We will be done. If it wants to stop raining, we'll be done shortly. Hey, we are going to get some, what's it called? Gladiolas. They're starting to show red, so they're coming along. And then we have some daylilies. There's also some irises in that corner. This is a hot mess in here. I need to just weed eat everything and start over. But yeah, hot mess.
All right, and then in our greenhouse, you actually just came in here yesterday and got these trimmed up and trellised.
Took me like 2.5 hours to get everything trellised.
But it's beautiful. So this is our tomato crop for the year. We have, these are also from Michaela. I'm telling you.
She saved our bacon this year.
Huh?
She saved our bacon this year.
She really did. So these are multiple varieties. There's not any one specific one. There's some like purples, and there's like mortgage lifters and Amish paste, I think. Just a lot of varieties. And then we have our volunteer.
I trellised that one too.
In
Why
the
not?
corner, which I believe is a Tommy toe. We're pretty sure it's a Tommy toe.
It's either a Tommy toe or a sun gold. I think it's a Tommy toe, but it's taking over this entire back corner where my shovels are stored. Like it's against the back wall. Like it's pretty insane, but that's fine. Do your thing, tomato. Gross tomatoes. Usually what we found is the volunteer tomatoes will outperform all of your other tomatoes.
They will.
Hands down.
I'll take your tomatoes.
I'm gonna have to look at all the Cacuzi starting to come in.
It's a little.
It's eating the horseradish.
Yeah.
It's starting to climb up the elderberry too.
Oh well, they can duke it out.
I think the Cacuzi will
Fight
win.
to the death. Yeah, it will. And then on this side that you can't see yet is green beans. I just planted them yesterday, so each of those little holes has green beans in it. And we'll get our green bean crop out of that. Are you done with that asparagus?
She's like, pleh.
Was it good? She juiced it. She also juiced it.
Yummy.
Yummy.
She's like wiping her tongue.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that.
All right, all done. So there we go.
One last thing I would like to talk about. My kind of overflow space is just below this chicken coop. The chickens like to rake everything downhill, and we are on a slight slope. So I pile up wood chips in the chicken coop. They scratch through them, and they make it out through the hardware cloth. This is the most fertile ground in this entire garden space. Is right here. I did not plant that sunflower there. That was volunteer, and it looks better than any of the ones that I planted out in the garden. So I also, as I pull up hops, because the hops is like trying to take over, I'll just stick the roots. If they have, you know, if I pull up a section and it's got roots on it, I'll just stick it in this dirt right here. It's starting to crawl up onto the chickens' cage here, and it's providing them shade. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of a hot mess. There's all kinds of stuff. This is like oats, I assume from chicken feed. All kinds of random stuff in here. Last year I grew all sorts of stuff in here, and it was pretty cool. This year I'm just letting it do its thing, and honestly I'm not mad about it. And eventually, when this needs to be cleaned up, I'll turn the chickens out. I'll just run a net around this, let the chickens in here. They'll probably have it cleaned up in 2 days. So that's it for our garden tour. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please pardon the weeds. We've been busy.
Yeah.
We haven't been very good gardeners this year.
It's also weed season.
It's also weed season.
Anybody who lives in the South completely understands, because once the rain hits and the temperatures rise,
everything's happy.
it's just green everywhere.
Everything's happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to think, yeah, we'll be better. We'll get out here and weed stuff. It's a race.
Yeah.
Like grow, vegetables grow.
Right.
Outcompete the weeds.
Yes.
So, all right, that is going to do it for us for this video. So we will catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.